DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Sure glad you joined us today. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. I'm joined here by Dr. Dave Rethorst. We're going to have a great show talking about weaning quality assurance. And if you haven't noticed yet, we have some special guests here. Our advanced feedlot production medicine class, we have Kansas State, Colorado State, Washington State, and North Carolina State fourth-year veterinary students represented. And we even have a birthday today, David Hanks. Anyway, thanks for joining us. More to come. Stay tuned.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Dr. Dave, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, as always, Dan.
Folks, Dr. Dave Rethorst, who's the Director of Outreach for the Beef Cattle Institute and is a great veterinarian for the beef industry. And today we're going to talk about a program that he's developed and is working with producers and veterinarians called Weaning Quality Assurance. And Dr. Dave, when we talk about, kind of give us some of the general premise of what is around weaning quality assurance.
Well, weaning quality assurance starts with a typical preconditioning program where the calves are vaccinated, weaned, castrated, dehorned on the ranch for 45 days. But weaning quality assurance takes that a couple steps farther. One, we go back and we look at the maternal nutrition while that cow's pregnant and make sure that we want to make sure the protein and the energy are right. We want to make sure the trace mineral supplementation is proper that last trimester, so we're really enhancing that calf's immune system from birth on. The other thing we emphasize is, low stress handling, low stress weaning methods, anything we can do to reduce the stress on that calf and enhance the immune system function.
So it's kind of taken a couple things. It's that VAC 45 type preconditioning program plus managing the nutrition of that calf from conception to weaning.
Right.
And incorporating the cattle handling, which really hasn't been incorporated in those preconditioning programs. So it really is a quality assurance program, not necessarily something that's hard and fast on thou shalt or
right. It's not a thou shalt, but we really encourage the low stress handling. If you're going to vaccinate calves, you don't gather them from 6 miles out and bring them in on a run and vaccinate them and wean them all in the same day. Too many stressors. We're just trying to. And
I think that one of the things that when we do look at the traditional preconditioning program, the common comment is, well, why would I do that? I'm not going to get paid for it. I think that we're seeing those economic signals today with the price of these cattle.
Absolutely, with the price of these cattle, when you've got to pay $1,200 to $1,500 for a weaned calf this fall, you want to make sure that the people you're buying that calf from have done everything they possibly can for that calf to live in your possession.
Yep, and I think the other thing that people forget about in the preconditioning program, or maybe they don't realize, is that it isn't necessarily the price premium at the sale barn, but it's the pounds that you can potentially put on those calves?
It's the pounds for that 45 days is what really pays the bill on that thing.
Cool. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with Dr. Dave, and we're going to talk about some of the different methods in which you can wean these calves, whether it's a soft wean or different techniques from around the country that Dr. Dave has studied and incorporated into weaning quality assurance. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Weaning Quality Assurance with Dr. Dave Rethorst.
This Meet the Future Veterinarian is brought to you by Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment.
Julia Herman took a winding path to become a veterinarian with inspiration as a child from National Geographic books, then with a bachelor's in zoology and a master's in epidemiology. After graduation from Colorado State's College of Veterinary Medicine, Julia plans on finding a position that combines livestock and wildlife medicine, epidemiology, research, and public health.
Some call it a come-from-behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher. Get the new hired hand for yourself or become a distributor. Visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
This segment is brought to you by Norbrook Laboratories, manufacturers of Enroflox 100, the newest addition to your arsenal for treating bovine and swine respiratory disease.
Folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with my colleague and friend, Dr. Dave Rethorst. We both are at the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State University in the College of Veterinary Medicine, and weaning is one of those potentially stressful moments in the calf's life and in the cow's life. And so what we can do to alleviate that stress and prevent shipping stress or bovine respiratory disease or improve performance is important. And Dr. Dave, let's go through some of the things, because weaning is a lot of things, but the thing we're really talking about here is maternal separation.
Right. Right, and typically the beef industry has used just an abrupt separation or abrupt weaning. You take the calf off the cow, and the further apart you can get those two, the better off you are. Creates a lot of stress, makes that calf walk and bawl and more prone to have to be treated for respiratory disease. There's several methods out there that we can use to cut down that stress. The first one I usually talk about is an Australian method. It's called yard weaning, and it's actually an abrupt weaning. Separate the cows and calves, get the cows out of the picture, but then those people go in and they start handling those cattle in the pen every day. They walk them down the fence, they stop them, they turn them around, take them back, stop them. They'll take them up by the bunk. And as Dr. Tom says, park them by the bunk so they know where the bunk is, they know where the tank is. But they start off doing that twice a day just to calm those calves, show them where the tank and the bunk are.
And provide some guidance for those cattle in the pen. So they're really, this goes back to Dr. Tom Knopfsinger's acclimation, right. Exercise the cattle to help them understand what's going on.
What's going on, and you form a bond between the cattle and the caregiver.
And you're building trust then
Right.
in the cattle so that they're easier to handle, calm them down, decrease the stress.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Second method is what we call the Hawaiian method. And that starts like at spring branding time. You know, you get those calves branded, vaccinated, castrated, and then you hold them off of the cow overnight. At sunup the next morning, you put them back with mom. Then when you get to your pre-weaning vaccination, you do the same thing. You get the calves vaccinated, you hold them off the cow overnight, provide them a little bit of hay, a little bit of water. Sunup the next morning, you put them back with mom. And what you're doing in that situation is just training that calf to be separated from mom, training them that it's not a great big deal to be separated from mom.
And then they go right back on the next day.
They go back on the next day. This is the method that Dr. Tom uses on his wife's cows. You know, and in fact, Dr. Tom will separate those calves one time between the pre-weaning vaccination and weaning, just to reinforce that hey, it's all right to be separated from mom. And then they get to weaning and, you know, put them in the pen, but the next morning they don't go back with mom and they're not upset about it. Works great.
Cool. Let's take a break. When we come back, a couple more methods of maternal separation with Dr. Dave Rethorst.
The BQA tip of the day, sponsored by Beringer Engelheim Vet Medica Inc.
Hello folks, this is Dr. Nels Lindberg with Animal Medical Center and Production Animal Consultation out of Great Bend, Kansas. Today's BQA tip of the day, we're going to talk about using treatment records when we treat our cattle, be it on a computer or on a piece of paper. This day and age, it's extremely important that anytime we doctor any animal that we document that doctoring. Whatever product we used, the route of administration, and the dose that we gave, as long as write down the withdrawal that is for that drug. We want to be able to write that down on a piece of paper, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, whatever it might be, or even use custom-made software that we can track animal sickness in. That way when we ship these animals or they go on to another place, we have record of it, we know the drug used, the amount used, and we know the withdrawal time frame. It's very important. Write it down, put it in a spreadsheet, or use some software. Anybody can do it. Cow, calf, stocker, feed yard, we all need to document it. Thank you much.
Say this is a calf that's been run through the chute a few too many times. Going through the chute stresses cattle, causing them not to eat like they should. Luckily, Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ provides proven protection against key respiratory diseases in a single shot, with just one trip through the chute. Talk to your veterinarian about Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ, and soon your calves will relax and eat like a whole different animal.
Broadband has become as important to us as highways. That is why DocTalk is teaming up with NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association, and rural broadband companies like Blue Valley Telecommunications in fighting for quality broadband access through the program Smart Rural Communities.
I don't think we have any idea what's coming in the future. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago what we're doing today. So in 2 years, I would guess there's things we can't imagine that we're going to be doing.
To learn more, visit ntca.org/smart or bluevalley.net.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
True Test Group, Weighing systems, electronic identification, EID, electric fencing, and dairy automation systems help farmers and ranchers around the world manage the performance of their livestock for ultimate profitability.
Folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Dave Rethorst, and we're talking about weaning quality assurance, which is a program that Dr. Dave has developed and is working on with other universities and people around the world to improve the stress situation around calves and the weaning time. But as we left, we were talking about 2 of the 4 ways to separate calves and decrease stress. We got 2 more to discuss.
Yes. The first one is that we're going to talk about now is what's commonly called the 2-step method or the nose flap method. And what this involves is putting a clip in the nose of these calves about a week before you're planning on weaning. And what this clip does is it prevents that calf from nursing. So that calf is still out there with mom on pasture or wherever, and he can graze and he can drink water, but he can't nurse. And so then a week later, you wean the calves, you run them back through, give them any boosters or whatever that are needed, but then you take that nose clip out and they haven't nursed for a week. So it's just a way to cut down on that stress. They aren't in the pen saying, well, I really want to nurse. They're already used to not nursing.
Right. So they know how to eat, they know how to drink. They aren't looking for mom for nourishment. I assume that when you put that first nose flap, put that in that week, is when you're going to give that first vaccination.
Right.
While you got them in the chute.
While you got them in the chute, you can give that pre-weaning vaccination, and you know, if you did things right in the spring, that's just a booster anyway, so we're in good shape.
Cool.
Okay, then our last method is called fence line weaning, and that's just basically what it is. You separate the cows and calves, put the calves in the pen where they've got feed and water, and then the cows are maintained for a few days just across the fence from those calves. So calves can still see mom, they can talk to mom over the fence, they just can't go nurse. But it keeps those calves calmer when they aren't at the bunk eating or getting a drink of water at the tank. They can go back and lay against the fence next to mom and everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah, well, great techniques, and you know, compared to what, you know, the abrupt weaning and that, it really takes some thought and some involvement on the producer's end.
Right. Takes some planning, takes, you know, sometimes a little facility changes or whatever, but really pays huge benefits in reducing the stress and thus reducing the antibiotics we've got to use and number of calves we've got to handle to treat.
You bet. Handling calves, anything special on calves versus bigger cattle that we need to pay attention to?
Just work with the cattle, you know, just learn balance points and realize that they're prey animals, and, you know, think about what you're doing, what it boils down to. Get back to basic animal husbandry, you know.
Yep. And I think that one of the things that I've learned from Dr. Tom through Bud Williams is you know, build trust in the cattle. Don't be noisy. Use that low-stress cattle handling. Use the instincts of the cattle. We're going to take a break, folks. When we come back, we'll wrap up with Dr. Dave Rethorst on weaning quality assurance.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new VetGun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The VetGun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML VetCap is used with the VetGun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. VetGun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
It must be an inherited trait, because I have never wanted to do anything other than be in the cattle business. And it's interesting, as I have grandchildren now, little bitty ones. All they want to do is go to the barn, swing a rope, and be a cowboy. It's something. It's a lifestyle that we have, the way we make a living, obviously. But it's really more than that. It gives us the opportunity as a family to be able to work together and enjoy each other's company and make a living at the same time. We've been using Triangle for years, and the reason we do it has been safe and effective, and we're going to continue to do that. We'll put the cows in the chute twice a year, spring and fall. 100% of our cattle get vaccinated with Triangle.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with my friend, Dr. David Rethorst, who is the Director of Outreach for the Beef Cattle Institute and spends a lot of times with producers. He's a veterinarian. He's got 35 years of practice experience, and still learning every day, just like the rest of us, but a wealth of knowledge when it comes to beef cattle production and this weaning quality assurance program that he's developed with collaboration of many others. Let's talk a little bit about some of the traditional points of the preconditioning, whether it's vaccinations and castrating, dehorning or deworming. When and what are we wanting to vaccinate with?
Well, you know, our typical VAC 45 programs want a viral vaccination in those calves. They want a clostridial vaccination, internal and external parasites addressed, and the calves weaned for 45 days. And that's our baseline.
Okay.
But, you know, the main thing, you know, the differences between the 45 and the other programs is, you know, whether they're weaned or not. But a true preconditioning program is that calf that is vaccinated, castrated early in life, dehorned early in life, weaned on the ranch for 45 days. We've got other programs out there that don't involve the weaning, but you really can't call those calves a preconditioned calf. Those are a pre-weaned vaccinated calf that are sold off the cow.
Right.
Different deal.
Right. So when we vaccinate, when are some of the times that we're getting those vaccinations in those calves? I understand branding.
Okay. Branding.
Or turnout.
Turnout is, you know, we want to get, traditionally, we get a clostridium on those calves. We really like to get a viral vaccination in those calves.
And that's going to be your BVD, IBR, PI3, and BRSV.
And I'm, you know, we can use a killed or we can use a modified live. I really like the modified live because it primes those white blood cells better than the killed vaccine does. And that way, when we do that vaccination ahead of weaning, that is a true booster.
Okay.
And we get better immunity if we go modified live at spring branding and then another modified live.
Let's move forward to bringing them off grass or when we're coming to weaning. We're going to do a pre-weaning shot?
I really like the pre-weaning shots. You know, I really like 2 to 3 weeks out, do a a booster on our viral, do a booster on our clostridial, and we'll go ahead in many instances and use like an injectable ivermectin there, so we get that parasite load cut down ahead of weaning.
Perfect. Thanks for being here today.
Good to be here.
Folks, thanks for watching Doc Talk. Remember to always work with your local veterinarian. If you want to know more about what we do, you can find us on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University. You've been watching Doc Talk. Thanks for doing that, and I'll see you down the road. Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com. Doc Talk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.